Good evening. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I am here to help you. I am a voice that speaks to power for those who have no voice. And I will always use that voice to help those who cannot speak up for themselves. Now, if there is nothing dangerous in my words, if they don't change your position in society or your power in society, the first question we must ask is, if words are as harmless as everyone says they are, if there is no magic in these words, why do those in power fear them so? Why do those in power fear people like me, speaking up for people like you? They hold all the cards. They know all the outcomes. They control all the avenues to power. Yet they not only fear the words that I speak to you, they constantly complain about being persecuted themselves. Try to picture this in your mind. Picture this in your mind. Those in power right now are crying to the heavens that they are actually the ones being persecuted. They are the ones losing their way of life, their base of power, and all it represents. They are the victims here, not you. Not you. Not you. They are the ones being persecuted. They are seeing an erosion of their system that has kept them in power for over 2,000 years. And they fear a very small, literally microscopic boogeyman of the population. They can't come to terms with parts of their population they are unable to grasp upon, control, manipulate the way they really want to, eliminate them as they want to. I have very good friends who ask me, why with the politics? Why with the social things? Why with this line of interjection into a relaxation environment? And the reason is I want a calm, peaceful environment. You can't reason with an angry person, can you? No. You cannot reason with an angry mind. But you can be reached. Even if it's just you listen. I'm not asking you to change. I'm asking you to listen. There's no escaping the bowels of hunger. We hunger for the truth, don't we? My stomach is worse than the trains in this beautiful town of Salem, Ohio. My enemy, the stomach, has spoken. And I plan this out accordingly to avoid that. I'm sorry. But I hope working it in and segueing into it will at least make you smile. Okay. In this calm, peaceful environment, my hope is that you will listen, that you will open up your mind to what I'm saying. I don't expect you to agree with me if you feel the world is against you, that you are being persecuted, that you are being changed, or the world is not the way you want it to be. I understand that from your point of view. You are going to see the world the way you do. And that's okay. It is. Because that's your life. That's how you perceive the world. And that's how you see things. I just took a shower, but my fingernails look dirty. They're clean, aren't they? So, but you've got to realize it's fine if that's how you feel. But do you see how others feel too? That there are people on this social spectrum that are neither here nor here. No names, no labels, no prerogatives. Most of us fall in the center, whether we think we do or not. We may have an opinion towards this way, or an opinion towards this way, but the majority of us, the vast majority of us, all fall right down the center of the political and social spectrum. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm serious now. No matter how long you've been watching me, no matter what you think of me, I believe that most, if not all of my views fall right down the center. I feel strongly about things like social things like helping have good roads, police, fire protection, education, a good community, a place to raise your children, a place that's safe for your children. I believe in rights that protect you, like freedom of speech and the right to bear arms. I believe in everything that my country represents. In those terms, people should have a right to safety, peace, tranquility, and the right to protect those rights within the law. And that's where we get a little bit to where I veer off one way or the other. Now, no labels, but I do believe our rights are being eroded. I believe that our government, for lack of a better term, is in the service of the devil right now. They are eroding the rights of many people. They are frightening people, and they are intimidating and coercing people to their will for no better reason than to grasp on to more and more and more power. At the same time, crying persecution from them over there, and those people over there, and them and him, and you, and you, and you. And this voice must be silenced, and this group must be silenced, and this group must be stopped. And we must bring about righteous war. We must look to the heavens, and we must cry out that we are the chosen one. And he did do that. And that everything they do is guided by omniscience. And I must ask, if it's omniscient, then it already knew what was going to happen. And it didn't stop it. It let it go on. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Our decisions as a society have put us where we are right now. Our decisions will haunt us for generations. These things that are happening right now, the distrust, the hate, the evil that is being perpetrated in our names, in your name right now, and in the name of the Holy Father, if that's what you believe in, these things are being perpetrated, these crimes, these evils, in their name. And the effects of these things will go on for generations. The distrust that is taking shape right now into the world community will not pass for generations to come. We will suffer the ramifications of these actions for many generations. Our great grandchildren will bow their heads in shame for what is being perpetrated right now. You don't have to believe me. You may not be a student of history. You may not even believe that you live in a secular nation that divides us from religion and non-religion, that our government should not be directed by a recognized single religion, that all religions are equal, but it also protects us from religion. We are not forced to believe or follow a certain doctrine or a certain church. There is no state church here. But that is what is being instituted, and a theocracy is being forced upon us on a daily basis. And if you're on that side where you think it's great that your specific religion is being forced upon everyone around you, and that you think there will be no ramifications from this event and this action, you are self-deluded, because you're part of that power structure. And my even saying the words that I have spoken right now, you consider that, because you've been indoctrinated, because you've been trained, because you have your God glasses on and your fingers in your ears and your hands over your mouth, like the monkeys of old, the monkeys that we still are, chattering away. You think I'm persecuting you right now. I'm speaking out against your power. I am a threat to your power. I am a threat to your base. I am dangerous because I am speaking words. Words have meaning. Words have power. Those in power know this. They grasp it. They pull it down. They take all of it for themselves. And they grow more and more and more powerful. And we have to conform, or then we are labeled. And we are labeled with the same words they use against us, saying that we are divisive, rebellious, that we are harming them, that we are hurting them, that we are taking away their power. A real wordsmith would be much more intelligent than I am. I'm a simple person with a high school education. I don't like to pretend I'm something I'm not, even though I play a doctor of Reiki, of healing, of medicine in these videos. Yes, I play Dr. Andrew Michaels, but in reality, I'm just a high school graduate. I consider myself very well read and very well educated with life and the lessons around me. I am not your typical person of my age and stature, what I look like. These people don't usually speak the words that I am speaking to you. But I learned a long time ago about the power of words, the magic that is in these words, that I can cast and weave a spell with these words, that the true supernatural elements that we find all around us in the universe, the true supernatural elements, are not some far-off sky daddy, some orange Jesus chosen by God. I'm chosen one. Those are not where the magic is. The magic is right here. Right here. Right here in the words you and I speak. It was when we started talking. That's when the magic started to happen. That's when we split the veil of reality between what it is to be an animal and to become a man. Humanity. born in words. The spoken word. That's where the power lies. That's where true power is born. And it's the words that they control. Because there's magic in those words. You can make people do anything if you have the right words. At your beck, you can call. You can make people do anything if you have the right words. Strung together like a spell, woven like a web, pulling them in, indoctrinating them, making them worship. Worship your words. Bow down to your words. All holy books are full of magic spells and blessings and prayers. All of them coaxing the heavens to come down and rain fire or healing or love upon us, to forgive us, to cleanse us, to take us to the next life, to protect us. But the bottom line is, the heavens are always silent in matters of men, because at the end of the day, these words were written by men to control and to manipulate you and you and you, coercing you into agreeing, and then coercing you into acknowledging that you are the ones being persecuted. You are the ones being put on trial. You are the ones that are watching your life, your lifestyle, your way of living erode. And it's not because you made poor choices. It's not because you made bad decisions. It's not because of economic decisions by powerful people and power around you that made these decisions for you. No. It's because of them over there. Them over there. Them over there. And only I can protect you. Only He can protect you. I'm the chosen one. I can protect you. And it's all bullshit. And I think deep down you know that. Don't you? You're going to get down there on your keyboard and you're going to tell me how I'm wrong and I oversimplified everything and that it's really not like that. It's really not like that. But you know I'm right. You do. You know. I want to tell you all a story. About my family. And why I am the way I am. I'll try and keep it brief. Around 1980, it might have been 79, but around 80, there was a movement in the United States that really started taking off. There were these evangelicals, these holy rollers, I like to call them, going from church to church. I was a Methodist, by the way. I grew up a Methodist. That's a Protestant religion that's closer to Catholicism and Lutheranism than, like, say, the Baptists. But most of the non-denominational churches around me, the Baptists, non-denominational Church of Gods, things like that, Church of Christ, there was these films traveling around. Some of them were about the evils of rock and roll and how the devil was in rock and roll, backmasking records and satanic imagery and how really Satanists controlled the music industry, which probably is true. Who cares? It's rock and roll, and I like it. Whatever. But there was another movement, another film that was doing the rounds. And this was a apocalyptic, end of the world scenario. And I like to talk about this sometimes because it's the biggest lie that's been perpetrated in my lifetime and many others. We're only waiting 2,000 years for the end that never comes. That's the title of this video, waiting for the end that never comes. This is not coming. Just get it over with. I want to tell you the end of the story before I tell you the beginning. I sat with my mother. I've told this story before, and I love my mother. My mother's a beautiful, beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. I love my mom. My mother is a firm believer, and I would never, ever want to hurt her feelings or upset her. So I listen to her, and I respect her opinion, just like I try to respect everyone around me, whether you think I do or not. And she said she was about 80 at the time. She's still around. She's still something else. She's a great woman in her mid-80s, and she's still doing great. She said, I've been listening to this stuff about the end of the world, the end times, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, since I was 4 years old. And I'm still here. She's welcome to believe whatever she wants, but she knows I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. We just had a relative pass at 101, I think. She might have been almost 101. She waited her whole life, and then 100 years it never came. Because it's not coming. It's not happening. It's smoke and mirrors. It's the stick and the carrot. They're just trying to keep you on the payroll. Keep you indoctrinated. Keep you believing. Keep you afraid. Keep you in constant fear. Well, they do their malfeasance, and it doesn't matter because this world's disposable and the world's going to end anyway, so who cares? There's no reason to save. There's no reason to work towards a better tomorrow, a better future for our children or our grandchildren, because the world's expendable. It's all going to end tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next year, the next week. People sit and they log on and on and on and get followings and everything, talking about the end. And the whole idea is to get you to fear, to get you under their thumb, to get you doing what they want. I slid sideways here, but the point is, back in 1980, my aunt and uncle, they were struggling financially and had a kind of tough economic situation with 2 kids, but they were making a go of it. They had a decent life. But like all of us, they were struggling back then. And they went and saw this movie about the end times, that the Rapture, the people flying in an airplane and the pilot suddenly evaporates and goes to heaven, and half of the crew and the passengers just disappear. And the plane crashes, and you're in school, and the teacher disappears. Half the students are gone. And those that are left behind are going to endure horrible, horrible tribulations and torture, and live in a world where the evil rules because God's lifted his guys from the planet and taken all the really good people up to heaven. And it leveled my aunt and uncle. They came to my parents' house and they proselytized to my parents, who were very religious at the time. We attended church regularly back then, weekly. And they just would not let go of it. My parents were like, okay, we get it. But they were just so enraptured with it, for lack of a better word, so taken by it, so in fear of it. They were so gobsmacked, just overtaken by this religious doctrine, this fear-mongering. Their children were just leveled I remember my cousin, a girl and a boy, laying on the floor of our living room. The parents were all in the dining room at the dining room table, hashing this out. It's horrible. You don't understand. The world's going to end, and it's going to end real soon, and this is what's going to happen in the rapture, and there's signs, and here's all the signs, and here's all the reasons, and here's all the things that are going to happen, and we're screwed. And it's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen the next day. It's not going to happen 20 years from now. It's going to happen like really soon. Like, we've got to change now. We've got to do things now because it's going to happen like really quickly. Now, this is 1980, so that was what? Oh, Christ. Pardon my language. That was 45 years ago. 45 years ago. And I remember those children. They were little. They were not little, not like 5 years old. But they were not like, maybe they were between 8 and 10 or somewhere in that range group. They were old enough to know what was going on. They must have saw it or something. I don't know. They were laying on the floor of the living room, and they were devastated. Like, all hope for the future, all of that was stripped away from them. I remember them laying on the floor, devastated, broken. But that's okay, because their religion will happily build them back up. Now won't they? Now that they've broken them, they can build them back up. And just in time for the end. And the end is coming. And it's coming. And it's coming. And it's coming. And I watched this family degrade, holding on to this for the next 45 years. And they died in utter... The parents, not the kids. The kids got away from it, thankfully, and ended up living their own lives and had to ostracize themselves from their parents. They were basically, they wouldn't cow down, and they wouldn't bend to their parents' will as adults. So their parents disowned them. Their parents disowned their successful children because their children wouldn't cow down and do their bidding. And I watched my aunt and uncle die in utter, pathetic squalor and poverty, waiting for this day to come. The meek truly thought they were going to inherit the earth, and the meek heard this from the powerful, heard this from the heavens, threw their arms up in prayer, and watched their life disintegrate into a pile of big old bucket of shit, and died penniless, sickly, and a horrible ending. Now I know there's others who have prospered, and you could tell the exact story in an opposite way. But I've seen the ramifications of this in my own family. And it breaks my heart. And I won't be told differently because I watched it. I watched it unfold. I watched my parents try to speak reason, religious reason, no less, to these people, and calm them down all those ages ago in 1980 and alleviate their fears. Because there's different religious opinions out there. Just like everybody has a butthole, everybody has a different religious indoctrination and a different religious opinion. And my parents really tried to talk to them and failed. And then I went to school and I heard other people saw these films. And I see other people saw this, and other people went to churches that preached this doctrine. And I became aware of it around me. And I have stood against this doctrine my whole life. Because I've seen the damage that it's done to so many families, to so many children, to so many adults. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart every day. Because I know the end is never going to come. And you'll say, well, how do you know? Because it never came. It never does. Well, there's signs. Well, there's these predictions, and there's these prophecies. But history is full of people, full of dates on a calendar, full of prophets that all lied. And they're lying to you right now. They're lying to you on a scale that I have never seen in my life, where they are going to push their agenda onto you and cry persecution the whole way to the top. And we're letting it happen. And that's my opinion. I can back it up with a lot of facts. I can show you the history of it. I can show you the ramifications of following this doctrine. I can show you families that were destroyed by it. And I'm sure you can show me families that benefited from it, that prospered. But I'm willing to bet more hurt than it helped. And I think what makes me sad and what makes me feel driven to do this is I don't see this as political. I don't see this as just a social issue. I don't see it as political. I am a human being. And I'm here to help. And be empathic. And be loving. Be kind. And cherish your friendships. Cherish our relationships. Cherish these moments we have together where I bring comfort and joy to you. And then I watch the world around me burn. I watch them put people in camps. I see them taking away due process. I see them hurting people. They speak love, charity, acceptance, love. Then they preach hate. And they hurt people all the time around me. And they know they are doing it. And what they have is never going to be enough. They want more. They want more and more. And the only place they can get it is if they take it from you. And you. And you. And you. And you. And you. They just keep taking it for themselves. Gobble it up. Swallow it. Then shit it out and don't even care about the next day. Because they know it's the end is never going to come. And the next day they're just going to go out and grab more power. And more power for themselves. All at your expense. You call yourself a Reiki master. You call yourself a healer. You call yourself a magic user and a weaver of spells. And they're hurting people. Well, I will say this to myself, and I'll say it to you. I am not here to bring harm. I am Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I will always be here to help you. You call yourself all these things, yet you stay silent. You call yourself all these things, and you let it go on without even questioning it, without even pushing back. Then I have to say to you, it's too late. You've already given it all away. And I don't want to live in that world. And that's why I push back. And that's why I care. And that's why I actually love all of you. And I care about you. And I hope you listened. All I wanted you to do was listen. I'm not asking you to go out and protest. I'm not asking you to give up on what you believe in. I'm not asking you to turn away from the church or from your political beliefs. I'm not asking you to go from here to here to the center or be more this way or more that way. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to look around you and be honest. Be honest. Tell me if I was wrong. Prove to me I was wrong. Don't prove to me with a piece of scripture that has no meaning in 2,000 years, because it never happened. 2,000 years late. Never happened. If you do the scholarship, what was supposed to be happening today was supposed to be happening in their lifetime then, 2,000 years ago. And it failed spectacularly. Do the scholarship. I'm not wrong. I'm not lying to you. And when you go to your minister, which I've gone to many, and you tell them what I said, they'll go, yeah. But they know, because they've read the Greek. They've studied the original Hebrew text. They've studied the Jewish manuscripts. They know. And they know I'm right. They know I'm right. And they don't want you to know. You can do it on your own. Just listen. And don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid, because on the other side of all this, it doesn't change anything. There's still love in the world. There's still hope. As long as the people like me are willing to speak up for people like you, there'll always be hope. There'll always be love. We'll always have each other. And life will go on. It will never end. What we are today and the way things are today, it will change. Things will change. Things will get better. Things will get worse. But life will go on. And we'll all be gone. And new people will take our place. But I assure you, the voices, the words, the magic of those words, it will go on. Just because we aren't here anymore to see it doesn't mean it goes away. My aunt and uncle, they died waiting for an end that never came. Waiting. And life just kept on. That's what I'm talking about. It never came. The only end that came was their end. And instead of having the life they could have had. They had a life that was burned into them. They made the choice, but their choices were taken away from them through fear and indoctrination. And I don't want that on you. And that's why I speak this truth to you. And that's why I care. And there's someone out there right now who, I know you were thinking about this, and I know it's been bothering you, and you just needed someone to point you in a direction. But the choice to go forward is yours, not mine. You must do it on your own. You must decide that I'm not living this way anymore. And I hope you make that decision for yourself. And I'll always be here to help you. My words, when I say that I will always be here to help you, I'm not lying, and we both know I'm not. Because my words will live on forever. They're not my words. They're our words. They're our story. And we will go on. Okay? We will go on. So don't give up. There is hope. And the hope is in you and I. And all around us. We just have to choose to see it. And believe in ourselves. And live the best life you can. Do that. Okay? Until I see all of you again, please have a most blessed day and know that I care about you all so much. I am your friend, Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I will always be here to help you. Okay? If you ever need me, turn on the channel. I'll be here. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.